Single mother with 2 kids that the father neglected. Baby boy facing time and her daughter is pregnant. A God-fearing woman, she won't bother to kill it. On her knees every night asking God for forgiveness. Oldest son a hustler chasing dreams with a yay. And Section 8 tripping cause he 18 today. Security posted up to make sure it's crystal clear. Either Junior hit the road or they all disappear. Big Mama had a stroke after Pawpaw passed. This isn't fair. So how did life change? All within a year. Dear God, it's your son again. Thinking about that gun again. Conscious toying with me about my past. What I done again. Drink to a stupor, pop a pill, smoke a blunt or 10. I can't get away cause I can't seem to run within. My feet's in quicksand. You speak of rich land, a meek and gift land. My peeps in this land. And I know only the things of God last. So step into the light for 3Ps in the podcast. Welcome to this week's edition of 3Ps in a podcast. You're rocking with Trinity Team 504, my homegirl, the beautiful Misty Love, and the homie Mike Lowry.
Not my homegirl. Interesting how you emphasize on that.
I have to say homegirl since I just did
Damn,
your
I thought
show.
we were family. I
Now,
thought I was your sis.
we ain't fam no more because I just did your show and your fans was hating. Your fans didn't want me on your show, so I feel some type of way.
It's all love. I belong to the people. That's what it is.
Right?
He comes in peace, y'all.
I come in peace. I'm a humble man. I come in peace.
I know. My son had came home and he was like, "Who did you cook all this for?" It was funny. All right. Anyways, let's get into it. We got a lot of good topics for this week, as always. So I guess we're gonna roll out with the first one with the 10 prisoners. Is his last name Groves? That finally
Derrick
got
Groves.
caught. Derrick Groves finally got caught after 5 months being on the run. He was caught in Atlanta, and they said that I guess what got him caught up was the house that he was staying in. The neighbors kept seeing, I guess, people peep out the window, so that's what they reported because they knew like something was not normal. So I don't know. I feel like.
They saying he was arguing too. He was arguing
really?
with some, yeah.
Then his girlfriend probably comes out. He's arguing with whoever he was arguing with turned his ass in.
Right.
That's what it was. Because ain't no, like, you know what I mean? He's all the way in Atlanta. He could have got away with it. He hasn't got caught. So I think somebody definitely tipped him and let them know where he was.
Well, Lil Wayne said the Bible told me to never trust a woman. Don't play in the gardens and don't smell her flowers.
That's a lie. That should come from y'all. You reap what you sow. Don't forget that.
I can agree. I can agree to that. But at the
Sure.
same token,
Just like you advocate and you say, oh, men don't wake up talking about they want to cheat. Women don't wake up talking about, what can I argue about today? What can I fight about today? Hell no, we want peace too. So all the fighting and all of that comes from y'all.
But women are way, way more vindictive than men.
No,
Men
we're
will let
smarter.
it go because we don't care.
Smarter.
We'll be like, all right, we good. Y'all gonna be like, how can I ruin his day? How can I ruin his life and make him feel pain?
That is not true. That is not true. I have never in my life woke up, even after being cheated on, I have never in my life woke up thinking, how the hell can I hurt this guy? My husband. How can I hurt him? I never did. I woke up every morning, prayed for his ass, cooked him breakfast, and still catered to him like a wife should. So that is a lie. That means the girls you dealt with was probably trifling.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you're different. The other ones, yeah, they have like this toxic personality. Oh, what can I do to make him mad? Let me ask him these questions and shit to piss him off. So, yeah, that's right.
Crazy. Yeah, and then I remember my husband too for a while. He used to be like, when I would like serve him food and stuff, he used to be like, "What's in it?" And I'm like, "Well, if I want to kill you, I'm gonna kill you in your sleep." You know, I'm like, I was like, that's your conscience, always thinking somebody's out to get you. And I used to always tell him, "You're not living right." I was like, "You're not living
Traumatized.
right." That's like, yeah, that's why you keep thinking I'm trying to do something to you. Sure enough, well, it's done
They
in the dark.
pass.
Good time. But yeah, I think that's all that was. I definitely think somebody called in and pissed him off because he was doing fine being on the run. But
For like what, 6 months?
6 months. They say the
Yeah,
neighbor,
he
the,
made
the
somebody
neighbor
mad.
called the police because the
He made
neighbor heard the arguing.
he made somebody mad because you gone for 6 months and all of a sudden you get caught. You piss somebody off. You gotta be low.
dang, why are you arguing and fighting with somebody? You know what I mean? Like you don't know when it's gonna be your, your judgment day
Uh,
or whatever. So it's like you
And
would be
I
trying to
thought
keep peace
I thought my boy was in Mexico or Guatemala somewhere for real.
by
man,
now, but
no. The
the way they have
movies.
the borders shut down. Mm-mm.
They watch too many movies. He ain't got no job to get no money, and then we in a recession.
But
Right.
he had a name on the streets. He was respected on the streets in New Orleans. Remember his
Man,
original charges was
That
for
don't mean
murder
nothing who's
charges.
gonna pay for his way back. Or
exactly.
who's
And
gonna
No,
pay,
then,
yeah, who's gonna pay for his way to Mexico. He's gotta get a different, he's gotta get a fake identification. He's
mm-hmm,
gotta get work over there. He's gotta get money to get there. Like what, clothes on his back. You know what I mean?
yep.
Like who's doing all that?
And then you can't give them cash. You know they tracking that shit. You know you give them money, then hey, boom, you caught up in the system too. So you gotta think
Right.
smart on that one.
Yeah, I think like whoever he was staying with, I think they should get arrested too.
Heck yeah.
If they haven't, if they haven't already, because they're obviously harboring a fugitive.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm just curious how long the neighbors knew. They probably knew for a while, but they probably didn't say shit until they started fussing and shit. But I don't know.
yeah.
If they did, then
That's
if they did, I like that because that's me. I mind my business. I ain't gonna snitch unless you out
no
there
for
doing
real.
some
I
beating
remember
somebody up and then like, hey, get your ass back in jail. Yeah, but other than that, nah, I mind my business.
my mom, she's like the neighborhood watch on our street because they've been there forever. Everyone else, when my parents bought that house, there was a lot of old people that lived in our street. So all the old people obviously passed away. So now
Hmm.
my parents are like the oldest ones that live on that street. So my mom is like the neighborhood watch. So next door, they don't live there no more. So next door, she used to live next door to a drug dealer. And so she used to walk next door. She used to be like, the police are in the corner. I'm like, Mom, if you don't keep your ass in the house and stop helping these people out. And then the guy ended up, I guess, abusing his wife, and she ended up, like, selling plates or whatever. My mom would go over there, you should leave him. Don't let him treat you that way. I'm like, what? My mom made to react, because she's definitely that neighbor that be knowing all the business.
The old school neighbors know everything.
I,
Right.
I used to call her Channel 11. I used to be like, Channel 11. What's going on? But I love my mom.
They'll call the police on you, then be looking out the window. What happened?
No, they're telling
Anybody
you to
know
run.
what?
Hey, I think the cops is coming. You may want to
What
run.
happened? You called them. You know what happened.
Uh-huh. She's so funny, but yeah. What else? What else? What else? What else? Yeah, I'm doing on the top of my damn head. Um,
Kyren Lacy.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
LSU.
Kyren Lacy, the college student who was trying to be charged, was up to be charged for manslaughter, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then he ended up committing suicide. And then there was a video that came out with the police officer basically telling the witnesses or the victims that were involved how to respond and how to write their report, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he did commit suicide, unfortunately, and so he was found innocent. Now that that tape has been released, conveniently, now he has been presumed innocent. What do you guys think about that?
So in the beginning, and I'm gonna go on record to say I'm pro police. So in the beginning, I was like, if he did kill somebody, because he was a athlete, a LSU athlete. He was on a road to be drafted first in the NFL. So I was like, if he think his celebrity stardom gonna get him out of it, because I'm scarred because of my own personal stuff, because of what happened. So I said all that to say I'll be the first to go on record to apologize and say I was wrong. So when I heard this tape, it's like, wow, like uh you hear him being coerced, right? But you don't. I still don't know all the aspects, but I think that's enough to say, hey, something is wrong here. To tell somebody, write this report, say this, do this, and then his car apparently they said was 72 yards back. Like he wasn't even on the scene of the accident. So how could he like cause it?
Right.
Now,
Right.
right. Now I don't know what was
Right.
going on in his personal life because somebody else said he had other charges uh dealing with uh spouse abuse. Well, not whoever his girlfriend was, whatever the case.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. I don't want to put that out there, but that's just like what they're saying. But I think that the reason he committed suicide is because you go from the superstar level. Because let's be honest, even though he wasn't in the NFL, he was headed there. So he still had that type of status that was just
Yeah,
going
for
to get
sure.
bigger as time grew. So then
Mm.
you go from that to a regular person again, and it's like, man, the weight of the world made this man took his life. Like, yo, they like maybe he felt he was being framed for something. Who knows, you know?
I gotta open my
Yeah.
gate.
You got all that bad dirt on your
Right.
name for something that you didn't do. That takes a toll. That's like a mental health. That mess with your head. You being accused of some shit that you didn't do, and then you got the world saying bad things about you. That's not true. So
Mhm.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't like it. Uh, the only thing I'm curious about is I want to know how long have they had that surveillance footage.
Right. And how did the lawyer get a hold of it? You know?
Hmm. Yeah, I want to know how long they
Because
had
it's
that
like if he
because
would have never got a hold of it, would the truth have came to light? You know,
Right.
no, it would not. Like,
they would have just let him be like guilty,
uh yep,
conveniently guilty.
yeah, and that's one thing I hate about that. Like I try to explain that like one of his stories is just an example of many painful stories that happen like that
Mhm.
in the United States because there are a lot of people who are placed behind the bars, behind in jail. Even though they know that they're not they're not guilty. They're innocent, but the system, what they do is they like to hide the truth. So what I feel like what they
When
like
it's
to do
convenient
is,
for them, they like to hide the truth.
yes, right. And what that does to a person is, it destroys their life, their dignity, all that.
Mhm.
And then I feel like what the system does with that,
I
they
think
pretty
it's
much
their
just make like a,
reputation.
huh?
It has to do with a reputation. It's like he's worked so hard to
Hmm.
establish himself, to do so well in his sports, to be good, in his sport. And it's just like, what are the people going to think of me? And sometimes
Hmm.
people's perception is everything to people, you know? So
Yep.
maybe if he was just kind of raised in that type of household of, you got to be careful what people think about you and things like that, that could have definitely impacted him. And I can definitely see why he would have killed himself.
Well, I got a question. So I did
Mhm.
hear, I don't know, but I seen like articles and comments that he was receiving like threats.
Yeah, so the apparently it was obviously you in Louisiana, you in Baton Rouge. It was an older white guy that died. So the reason he was receiving the death threats, because like I said, is we living in a social media world, and if anybody tell me differently, I will tell you that's a lie straight from the pits of hell, because we are molded by what the media puts out. People say that they're not. So
Hmm.
none of us are blinded. So if they put out a story that's one way, like I always, y'all know the case with my brother. So if you've been hearing the same story for 20 years, that's what we're going to believe, either
Right.
consciously or subconsciously, because that's what you get. So I
Mm,
said that to say, when they put out this Kyren Lacy story in the beginning, it was that he killed the older man and he ran away from the scene because he was a superstar wide receiver at LSU about to go to the NFL. So to the world is like another celebrity trying to get off on something that he done. So
mm,
that's why the death threats came in, as people were like, "Oh, you can't get away with this type of stuff."
yeah,
Mhm.
that's messed up. They shouldn't be doing that to people, even if you know that they're innocent. Like you can destroy their life like that. That's just sad. Situation like that, like when I seen that, I thought of have y'all seen the movie Life with Eddie Murphy, the comedy movie?
Of
Yep.
course.
Yeah, see, I thought of that situation because like those situations happens. Like they know that you're innocent, but they put things on you, just to ruin your life, shit like that, which is sad. I don't like it, but yeah, that's wrong in my opinion. But I see that the officer he resigned, right? The officer.
I don't. They was calling for his recognition. So as of yesterday
So are they
morning,
making them resign?
I don't.
He
I
need
don't
more than
know. As of
that.
yesterday morning, he hadn't. Now I haven't been following it since then, so I don't know if he resigned since then. I know the NAACP went up there and was trying to get him to resign.
Yeah, he need more than that. He needs some
Yeah,
time.
I feel like that's the easy way out too. Like having these police officers resign is not the solution to their lives. It's not their solution. You know what I mean? Like somebody killed himself. So I think he needs to
Mhm.
be liable for that.
Right, right, yes, yes. And they what they say, the police is, what's their slogan? I forgot, but pretty much they're supposed to protect the world. You
Protect
can't
and
do that.
serve.
Yeah, you can't do that when you're doing shit like that. So he need more than that. He needs some time in jail.
Think about his actions.
Yep.
That's what I think. I think the more we hold these police officers accountable, the less we'll have situations like this. They think they're untouchable. Not all of them, some of them think they're untouchable and they can, like they're going to believe whatever you put on that report because of
Hmm.
who you are. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, mm-mm, that's not, that's not how it is.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a unfortunate situation, and I don't know. I hate that he felt the need to like out himself like that. Kind of makes me wonder too, like his family and stuff like that. Like where are his friends, where are his family? Um, I feel like that's important when you have like certain support. Your mental is different, you know. So I don't know.
Because he was
I don't know.
about to change their lives. Think about, you talking first round draft pick NFL. You were already a local superstar at LSU. So once the NFL fortune and fame came, that was about to escalate you to a whole different level.
Hmm.
Right? Yeah, it's crazy.
And speaking of stardom and a whole nother level, you were telling me about Steph Curry's wife, right, Aisha? What
Oh
happened?
yeah. So there is she did an interview recently
Mhm.
about how she feels about being Steph Curry's wife. And a lot of people are saying that she thinks she's better than him. Um, basically, she's better than him. And she has told the interviewee that she basically didn't plan to be his wife or a young mom. And I get what she's saying. I think it's how she said it that's kind of making her look bad because she was like, I didn't, I married young. I had kids right away. I had dreams. I had goals. I had my own aspirations than just being Steph Curry's wife. And I get it. She feels like everything that she had planned for her life, for her future, was kind of demolished because she married this all-time athlete. I think she kind of fucks up when she says, "Oh, he's not all that great," like he's just Steph Curry. Because it's like, girl, that is your husband. And if your husband
And
isn't
he's
the
a
greatest,
multi-millionaire. You have no worries. You're rich. So what are
right, you
you
have no
complaining
financial
about?
stress, you keep popping out kids. So it's just like my thing is, I'm an advocate for men and women. I think it's very important for us to lift our men up, and especially a position as a wife. Like, why would you say those things about your husband when you have a very comfortable life due
Mm-hmm.
to his sacrifices and his commitment in the sport?
Right.
So I think if anything, he paved a way, and if she was smart enough, she'd take advantage of that, which she does. She has a cookbook, but it's like, girl, you're married to this professional athlete. Like the sky is the limit. You know what I mean? After you've had these 4 kids, you've been this wife for all these years, start accomplishing your goals. You know what I mean? Like don't hold him accountable for you not doing the things that you wanted to do when you were in high school or when you were in college. You know what I mean? If you're sitting at home
You can still
getting
make it happen.
pregnant, just laying up, then that's a you problem.
Cause you
Yep.
can do it now. Like you rich.
Uh-huh.
So if you say it's the kid, you could hire a nanny. You could pursue
Right.
everything in life that you didn't that you wanted to pursue. And he got you living comfortable, like I said. Like
More
you're
than
Steph Curry's
comfortable.
right, right. He's
Like
an
that's a
international
name. You know what I
superstar.
mean? Like you go to any, you know what I mean? You go to any producer and say, Aisha Curry, I want to do a reality show. Girl, they're not even gonna think about it twice.
Right.
So it's like, oh, I'm Aisha Curry, I want to do a cookbook. Like I ain't never seen her cook, but she has a cookbook. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like, girl, if you
And
don't
she
use
probably
that
don't. I don't
platform.
want to make assumptions, but like I said, you rich, so the man probably got a chef. Like, come on.
Exactly, exactly. But you got a cookbook. So it's just like, I don't know. I think it was her delivery and a lot of people she's getting a lot of like hate
Backslide.
um from it.
Mm-hmm.
Cause it's like she ungrateful. That's how it comes across.
Cuz it's like,
Like,
girl, I wish. I wish, but
like I gave you the world. I gave you the sun, the moon, and you say, "Oh, well, you forgot the stars."
right, like she wants to have a maybe she wants to have a rough life. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
her
Want the
her
whole
life is too
universe.
much of a fairy tale. Girl, you did not want this life.
Yeah, she tripping
Tell
on
her that
that.
here.
Yup. She tripping. She can still make it happen. Ain't no excuses on that. But
Yeah.
like you said, it's the way that she delivered it.
Mhm. I want to bring up another topic. I've
Go ahead.
mentioned this before, and I think we've just kind of forgot. The not rapper, but he's a singer named David D4DD. And
Mm-hmm.
I mention it because all of the kids are talking about him, like especially my
Oh
kids,
Lord.
teenager. And what happened is he was on tour, and I think he's like in his 20s. I think he's like 26, and he was dating a 14-year-old girl. This girl ended up running away. I believe her name's Celeste. This girl ended up running away, and
Mm-hmm.
she was staying with him, basically going everywhere with him and things like that. So everyone's like, he's 26. What is he doing with this 14-year-old girl?
Right.
Well, while he was on tour, they found her body in his Tesla in a junkyard or like in a garage. And so a lot of people are saying his manager has been arrested, and I
Hmm.
think they're trying to charge him for the murder. And I think David, I
Oh, the
think he
manager?
stopped his manager because they said that. So they went back and they replayed cameras, and they said that her manager was the one that picked her up. So
Wow.
they're charging him with the crime. And so
Huh.
he's in prison right now. A lot of people are saying that maybe David's being set up because how could he kill her if he was on tour? The girl was, I think, deceased. Her body was decomposed for like 7 days.
Hmm.
So yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I kind of, and they say that all of his songs, they're kind of like these, basically like how he killed her. But they kind of said that with extensacion. They kind
Hmm.
of say that too, like when a singer or a rapper is going to like do a crime, or if they feel like death coming, that they start thinking or they start singing about death, and they start talking about death a lot. Um, so I don't know, because he's saying things like that I watched her die and things like that. Basically, just thinking about how she was murdered, and so they were like, "Well, damn, he's giving them everything that they're looking for." But yeah, so that's under investigation, and they're trying to see if he really did murder her. And I don't know. I really don't know what to think. I'm just kind of like,
Well,
why? One,
first,
why would he murder her unless she wanted to like leave him and he was obsessed with her? And two, why would
That's
he put
pregnant.
her in his car? You know what I mean? Like, why would he put her body in the trunk of his car? So I kind of feel like he's being set up,
well,
kind of.
first, the Bible says is life and death in the power of our tongue. So we could speak life or we could speak curses. So I think that that's real, that he's singing about death and all of that stuff. Secondly, I
Hmm.
read on the case, I think he did it too, because one, you're a pedophile. You shouldn't even be messing with no 14-year girl. It's no such thing
Hmm.
as love. You're a grown man. Miss me with the BS. I don't even agree when the girl is 18 and the man is 38 or 48. That's a child. That's how I believe.
Hmm.
And I believe
Right.
that something's wrong with you to even be turned on by a kid, but that's my
Hmm.
humble opinion. So
Right.
I think he did it, but I think it probably was some music industry ritual or something of why it took place. So I don't think he was being set up. And they all known, of course, him, the manager, everybody would have
Yeah.
been on it because they can't move by themselves anyway. Nobody can
Yeah,
get
because
to
even
you.
like the guys around him, like his friends, they
Hmm.
were like, well, we always knew her as his girlfriend, but they
Right.
claimed that they didn't know how young she was. But it's like you can tell how young a girl is. Like
Yeah.
girls
Even
that
if
are
she old and
14 do
act
not
young,
act
it's
like
like,
grown
nah,
ass
you gotta
women.
be out of here, right? You like,
Right.
no. Everybody dressed in high heels and manis and petties, and you coming in here with Jordans on. Man, good, get
Right. And
somewhere.
they were
This is
like
a
her
kid.
nails were not even polished, that she was wearing
Right,
the same Hello Kitty slippers for
right.
the
Yeah.
longest, stuff like
My
that. They were like,
point.
damn, he could have bought her some clothes, but
Yeah, that's my
yeah.
point. Kitty stuff.
Yeah, for
That's not
sure.
a adult not gonna dress like that. She dressed like a child. Like, come on, man,
Right.
that's a kid. So
And then they say
something
that
ain't
he did have like a Hello Kitty background. It was a Hello Kitty with crying blood. And they were like, like, why does he have all this stuff if he didn't do it? So it's like, dude, you're telling on yourself, you had this bright future ahead of you, you know, but I don't let my son listen to that. Once he tells me things like this, I'm like, turn that shit off. It's too depressing.
But
Like,
the music always tell a story, right? So from a
yeah.
spiritual standpoint, for those that don't know, the devil can't hide. He have to tell you the truth. It's up to you to
Mhm.
believe it or not. It's why people, you see what's going on in the world, they will tell you in plain sight. They may make it a joking manner, they may make it like a mystery, but they tell you what's
Like
going on.
like the Simpsons and the politics.
Right? And if you look at the Forbes magazine, right, you know the
Yeah.
symbol is a needle going in the eye of the camel, and you know the biblical saying is easier for a camel to fit in the eye. I said it backwards. For a camel to fit through an eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to go to heaven. But that's the symbol, and then nobody picks up on it. Like Satan got to tell you all his tricks of what he's doing. It's up to you to
Yeah.
either pay attention
To
or
pick
not
up
pay
on it.
attention.
Yeah.
Right. So the music
I
always
agree.
had a subliminal message, man. It's you either gonna listen or you not gonna listen to it.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
I have
in
another. I
couple
have.
weeks, we got the Cash Money versus No Limit in Las Vegas.
I was gonna
Historic
go with
for
that
New
because
Orleans.
she has a little bit to do with Cash Money anyway. But what do y'all think about the beef between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj? They said that Nicki Minaj just started going in on Cardi B. Cardi B responds back and she's like, "Girl, I wasn't even thinking about you." Anyways, the beef has gotten so bad to where Nicki Minaj is talking about Cardi B's kids and how they look and things like that. Of course, Cardi being Cardi, she's like, okay, now you crossed the line. So now she starts talking about their kids and things like that. And I think she was even tweeting like on her son's birthday, and Cardi B was like, girl, you worried about me. Go take your son to Chuck E. Cheese or something. Go cut your son a birthday cake. Go read him a book. And Cardi B was basically going in on her, saying, I'd rather have left this like abusive, toxic relationship than to be with somebody who lets me do drugs and who keeps me like drugged up all the time. So they got that little beef going on. I think it's good promotion for her album.
And that's what I think
But
it is. So let me get back to October 25th in Las Vegas, Nevada. Cash Money versus No Limit is about to be historic for the city of New Orleans. I know it's October and I know it's a lot of sacrifices in the music industry. I just hope don't nobody dies. I hope that they keep it nostalgia for those that grew up in that hip hop era in the late 90s and early 2000s. As far as the Nicki and Cardi beef, I'm biased, so I gotta say I'm Team Nicki, man.
maybe she'll be at the verses.
Right, but I don't think she will. But uh,
Me either.
yeah, because I don't think Lil Wayne gonna be there. I think all of the mega artists, I don't think they, because it's gonna be like they too big for that. Even though I think it'll be great for the career, like the Locks and
But do
Dipset,
you
but
think
I
their
just don't think.
careers like demolished to the point where they should be doing a versus? Yeah, I don't think they're like irrelevant yet to be doing a versus. Usually the versus is, people who are not making music anymore and things like that. Lil Wayne still goes on tour. Nicki Minaj
Right,
still
but
has
that's what
music
I'm
out
saying. I
there.
think it's more so for the nostalgia part of it because they
Then they
they
should just
are
do a
still right,
tour.
and the fact that they never did music together in the past because of all the street beefs. That's why they wasn't gonna do music in the industry because it wasn't the artists that didn't get along. It was the cats behind the camp, the street cats that didn't get along. The artists didn't care. The artists wanted to make music.
Right.
But I'm Team Nicki Minaj and the beef because I'm gonna be biased, man. Cash Money, so we rocking with Nicki.
Team Cardi, I feel like Nicki tries too hard to
Yeah.
make things happen. Nikki, she just straight out the gate, she was just doing too much to be noticed and things like that. And I'm sure it had to do with management and whoever was leading her or guiding her. But girl, just be you. It's not that serious. Cardi B was her, and look at her. She flourished, and yeah, she's that girl.
Weezy Wee, I don't agree with her comments, brother. This is a
You don't have to
podcast.
agree with me. You don't have to agree with me.
And rather when you beefing or
um,
not, I feel like she should lift the children's out of
the
the
kids
beef.
out of the
Yeah,
argument, yeah, for sure. I
did too
think that's
much on
kind of
that.
below the belt. Like, come on,
Yeah,
Nikki. Them kids have
that's a
nothing to
no.
do with
That's
you.
a no
So do
brainer.
you guys think it's a level? So you think it's a level of disrespect? I don't. And I say that from a place of somebody who received disrespect. I don't think if somebody crosses the line, I don't think morally you can say, well, this is this is out of order. That's out of order. It should be that
Yeah,
way.
but
So let
Cardi
me
B
say
never
that first.
approached her. She
Right.
was the
But
one
it
who approached Cardi B with the foolery, and she was the one who started to throw the kids in. Cardi B wasn't talking about no kids.
Uh-huh. She
So that was
toxic,
all
just like
Nicki.
you. That's why you supporting her.
So yeah, so
the
I
equivalent.
exactly, exactly. He always be supporting the wrong people. Like,
Toxic.
I support
bro,
the right
wake
people, man.
up. Right to you.
Yeah, I
But
have my own
yeah,
mind. I'm not going with the masses. I'm going with the people I like.
just like you voted for Trump. Now look at us
I
looking like a
did.
damn fool, looking dumb. Government shut down.
He gonna get it together, man. He gonna get it together.
Okay, that's like me saying my ex-husband's gonna change. I'll keep fucking waiting. My goodness. At least you keep hope alive. Gotta have faith, I guess.
The president is the president for a reason.
He's a president by default. He got a lot of young
Nobody.
people to vote for him.
America was not putting a woman in office.
Now look at us. I mean,
Struggling.
Mexico's flourishing. Mexico's doing great. I don't hear them shutting down. I don't. And a woman's running that country. Just saying. Anyway, shout out to our National Latino Heritage Month.
Oh yes, it is, right?
There
Yes.
it is. We got one more week left. We got one more week left, but yeah, I definitely enjoy seeing all of the cultural. They have like in the NFL, they had like all the flags going up. I saw that the 49ers came in holding their Mexican flags. I think the Dallas Cowboys had like a Latin flag for each player. It was pretty cool. It's pretty cool seeing the diversity of things when it comes to athletics and stuff of that nature. It does make you feel like, okay, maybe we do belong here, even though everyone else says otherwise. But yeah, shout out to my Latinos and my Latinas. Anywho, that's all I
La
have.
familia por vida.
It's Hispanic Heritage Month, a time for us to recognize and celebrate diverse culture, history, and contributions of Latinos past and present. But what does it actually mean to be Hispanic or Latino? What do these labels apply to? And why do we celebrate in the middle of September, right? I'm going to help you understand it all. I'm Guad Venegas, NBC News and MSNBC correspondent, and a proud Mexican American. Now, most month-long cultural celebrations start on the 1st, right? So why does Hispanic Heritage Month start on September 15th? It's because a handful of Latin American countries actually celebrate their Independence Days on September 15th. Plus, Mexico celebrates on the 16th, and then Chile on the 18th. But there wasn't always a whole month to celebrate Latinos or Hispanics. In 1968, Congress passed a law ensuring that presidents would recognize National Hispanic Heritage Week each year. Then 21 years later, President George H.W. Bush became the first president to officially declare it a month-long celebration. Hispanics are the second largest racial or ethnic group in the U.S. with more than 62 million people descending or originally from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. Now, you've probably seen the words Hispanic and Latino used interchangeably, but they don't actually mean the same thing. The term Hispanic typically refers to someone whose family came from a Spanish-speaking country, while Latino refers to a person with ancestry in Latin America. And it is, by the way, possible to be both. Brazilians are Latinos, but they're not Hispanic because they speak Portuguese, not Spanish. But then you look at Mexicans, Dominicans, Cubans, and so many others from Latin American countries who are actually both. And this brings me to the term Latinx. Where does this fit into all of this? Well, Spanish is historically a gendered language with masculine and feminine words. For all of us who speak the language, we know what this means, right? Take, for example, the word alto, which is tall in Spanish. For men, it's alto. For women, it's alta. Well, some are trying to do away with that by using gender-inclusive terms. That's where the X comes into Latin X. Now, there is a lot of debate on whether or not to use it to describe other Latinos. Some are even using the gender-neutral term Latine instead of Latinx. A good rule of thumb is to just ask people what they prefer to use to be identified. For me, they all work. Many Latinos like to identify themselves by the country that their families come from, like Mexicans, Mexican American. Others might use more specific identifiers to describe themselves, like Afro-Latino, which some prefer to acknowledge their mixed Black and Latino heritage. Then there's the term Chicano, which was coined by Mexican Americans during the Chicano movement of the 1960s to describe their own unique identity. By the way, I identify as Chicano, Pocho, or Mexican American. They all work. So what does this tell us, right? Hispanics are not one homogeneous group that can be lumped together. Each Latino culture has its own unique set of traditions and its own definition of what it means to be Latino. And we celebrate all of them this month.